The Eagles and Packers kicked off the NFL season in Brazil, and now they take center stage Sunday afternoon as both teams meet in Philadelphia for a big-time wild card matchup. Jay, all season long, the question has been, can the Green Bay Packers ever beat a top team? Well, they have one in round one in the Philadelphia Eagles. What are their chances?
They have a chance for sure. Jordan Love is a wild card. There's no doubt about it. Remember last year when they went to Dallas in the playoffs in a wild card round, everybody said Dallas is this and that, and they forgot about Jordan Love. Jordan Love just lit them up on the road at Dallas. He has the ability to do that. He's been a little inconsistent this year, but we know he has the ability to do that. Now, losing Watson hurts a little bit. They still have Jaden Reed and Tucker Kraft and all the other Tavian Wicks, so they have some weapons on the outside. Dubes. He's a little banged up as well, but I think they'll be okay. But they really have a guy named Josh Jacobs that's got to get going. It's very tough to run the ball against Philadelphia. They're top 10 run defense, number one defense overall. I understand that. But Green Bay can play physical style of football. They have different types of runs between the tackles, outside zones, the toss cracks on the perimeter. And the good thing about Josh, he's good at all of them. He's got the speed to get outside. He's got the vision and the power inside to find his holes. And that opens up the play actions for Jordan Love, which he's as good as anybody at ripping them down the field. So, yes, they have a chance. And defensively, the Packers are pretty good. And we don't know the status of Jalen Hurts yet with concussion protocol. Yeah. So I do think the Packers have a chance whether Hurts plays or not because of the ability to run the ball, possess the ball, and then Jordan Love's big playability.
Yeah, AQ, as an offensive lineman, obviously, we love our running backs. We love the run game. Jay gave us a little breakdown of Josh Jacobs. Let's talk about Saquon Barkley. They benched him, not benched him. They rested him last week. Didn't let him go break the record. Yeah, it's big distinction there. They rested him last week along with a bunch of the other starters. This is about as good of a matchup as we can get from the running back. Give me your breakdown in there.
Yeah, Saquon's obviously having an unbelievable year, one of the best of all time, right? Like literally, he's one of 7, I think, that have broken the 2,000-yard barrier. He's having a monster year, and he's the only one that has the ability in this matchup. I mean, he's got 4 rushes of 70 yards or more this year. It's ridiculous. And then I think he's got another one at 65. So he's got the home run speed. He's got the breakaway. Josh Jacobs is not that guy. He's the guy that once he breaks through, it might get 35. It might get 40 if he's lucky. But he's a little thicker guy, but he's going to get caught. He's going to get caught from behind. Saquon, once he gets through the second level, gone. See you later. Better turn back because you ain't catching him. Both of them like to do some different things. The Eagles love to run the zone scheme, and they also love to run the counter scheme. That's essentially what you're getting out of that team. Green Bay, as Jay said, can do it all. They got the toss scheme. They got the in between the tackles. They got the zone scheme. They got everything. They got the counter scheme, the power scheme. He's a little thicker back, so he likes to stay kind of right up between those A-gaps most of the time. And whenever they want to get to the outside perimeter stuff, they'll normally hit either a jet sweep or the end around reverse to Jaden Reed. And so I'm loving this matchup. And I think my biggest question mark going into this is the fact that Hurts coming off a concussion and being rusty coming off. And we all in this whole little show does not think that Hurts is the best quarterback to begin with whenever he's got 9-10 games in a row and he's playing at his best. Now he's coming off a little bit of rust plus a concussion. I'm a little worried about Philly here in this matchup.
Ooh, a little worried about Philly. And when you mentioned Jalen Hurts and the injury and maybe that being an area of weakness for the Eagles going into this game, Colt, I want to take this question to you. What are some areas of weakness that each team can try to exploit? Give me some areas of weakness of the Philadelphia Eagles to start.
Yeah, that's tough, man. I looking at weaknesses on both of these teams, there's really not a whole lot. These teams are built pretty similar. They run the football well up front. And on defense, they stop the run. I know Philly's a top 10 defense. They got their hands full with Josh Jacobs. I think that the key to this game is going to be quarterback play, right? Can Jalen Hurts come out of the concussion protocol? He missed a few games and pick up at a playoff pace and get the ball to A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Goddard, Saquon Barkley. Can they just pick up and go right away? I think if there was a weakness, it would be where do they sat out last week. Where do they pick up and go? Because if they lull through this first half of this game's going to be a lot closer than what you think. I think on the flip side for the Packers, it's it's Jordan Love and his unpredictability. Is he going to hit the deep balls, and is he going to play lights out? If he does, like, the Packers can find a way to win this game. If he's inconsistent and throws a few picks, they got no chance. And so I think when you look at this matchup, it's a fun one. It's a heavyweight bout, but I think at the end of the day, the Phillies defense is going to be the difference. I just their front, how physical they are, and their secondary. I know they got some young guys back there, but they're playing well. They fly around. There's speed everywhere. When you watch this Philadelphia Eagles defense, that's what you notice on tape, is they fly around the football. Anytime the runs to the left, and there's 11 guys on that side of the field making the play, being around the ball, their pursuit. I just think that when you talk about weaknesses, there's not a whole lot, but just to see how rusty the Eagles are starting off this game.
What about coaches? I mean, I know like people have talked about Nick Sirianni all year long, kind of that he could be the Achilles heel for this team versus Matt LaFleur. And that's open to anybody. I know I kind of threw this one out there, but I think a lot of people will look at Sirianni and say he could be that one person that could be holding this team back.
I think a lot of these games are going to come down to some critical coaching decisions. Nowadays, a lot of guys feel like they have to go for it on 4th and 2 or 3. I mean, sometimes it's okay to kick a field goal or punt. We saw that in Tomlin against the Bengals last week. 4th and 1 from his own 35 at the end of the half. Goes for it, gets stopped. Bengals kick a field goal. They win by 2. I mean, a lot of these decisions that these coaches make will make or break the game in the playoffs. So hopefully it doesn't come down to that. But if I had my druthers in decision-making at crunch time, I'd probably take LaFleur, even though legendary a couple years ago when he had Aaron Rodgers, they had 4th and 10 at the 10, down 6, and he kicked the field goal. You guys remember that? So there's been issues. He's learned. Every coach has these decisions that they're going to make throughout the course of a game. They're very difficult. They're hard to make, and I think I would give the edge to LaFleur when it comes to guys I would trust to make the right decision, if that's your question.
Yeah, that answers my question, Jay. I appreciate it. But what I want you guys to do is stop right now. We are trying to get to 20,000 subscribers on this channel. So whatever you're doing, stop. Hit subscribe right now. Yes, you right now, hit subscribe. Follow the boys. Follow along for all of our content on NFL football. Drop the comment. Drop the like. Everything we need from you. All right, Jay, I'm going to come right back to you. That was a bonus question I asked about the coaches, but I want to talk about Philadelphia. I've played there a bunch of times. It is one of the most hostile environments in the NFL. How much of an advantage is home field advantage for the Philadelphia Eagles?
It's an advantage. Home field advantage is an advantage for everybody for obvious reasons, travel, all that good stuff. But the crowd is very into it, obviously. But I think the best thing about playing at Philadelphia in my past is when they're quiet and you just shut them up. You run the ball down their throat, you get a lead, and you can hear the boos from the Philly fans. Boo! That's the one thing about the Philly fans. They can turn on you in a heartbeat, and that's your goal for the Green Bay Packers. Go in there and make the Philly fans turn on them. Turn on Sirianni. Sirianni, you're an idiot. Boo! That's what you got to have. However, if it's going well, these Eagle fans are relentless. They're loud. They'll make it very difficult on 3rd down to communicate. Snap count will be an issue. So, yes, it's a great home field advantage, but it also could be one of the worst home field advantages if they're doing poorly.
I'm going to ask that to Cole and AQ. You guys have played there as well. Is Philadelphia one of the toughest places to play on the road? And I don't know if either of you played there in the playoffs, but if you could, speak to that.
Yeah, Philly's definitely a tough place to play. I mean, you got to deal with the crowd. They're into it all the time. They're yelling. You got to fully just walk inside those white lines and block everything out and play ball. I mean, I remember playing there in the preseason, and it was like a packed out, sold out stadium. Everybody's going crazy. It's loud. I mean, it definitely is one of the harder places to play in the NFL, no doubt.
Yeah, we played there in the playoffs in 2002, Justin. My brother was a head coach, and it was rocking, and we had no chance to win. Mike Allstott, Brad Johnson, but Rondé Barber got a fumble recovery, an interception for touchdown. Joe Jaravicious on a little jerk route for a 75-yarder. Mike Allstott pounds it in for a touchdown, and the Buccaneers advance and go to the Super Bowl. That was one of the most fun games I've ever been a part of as a low-life assistant coach.
I was probably flipping you off as a 12-year-old in the seats. I wasn't at the game, but I was at home flipping you off. AQ, is that one of the crazy environments? I know you like Seattle too, but is Philly in your top 3?
Yeah, Philly's up there. There's no question about it. It's always tough to play, and they always got some cool video montage to start off with the Rocky theme song, and they got some cool little thing, and then that whole place just goes bananas with the Fly Eagles Fly. I mean, the place just explodes. It's pretty good, man. And yeah, listen, I've never played an away game there, but in 2010, it was my second year in the league, played a home playoff game there against, ironically, the Green Bay Packers. Packers came into Philly. Mike Vick, starting quarterback. They knocked Mike Vick out with a concussion early. We lose. I think we were, high favorites to win that game. And Kevin Kolb came in the game, and we got our asses kicked. And they moved on. And I think that was 20.
They won the Super Bowl.
Win the Super Bowl against Pittsburgh.
Yes, they did. Both of these teams have top 10 scoring offenses. Both have top 10 scoring defenses. Is this the best matchup in the first round?
Those are cool stats you just presented. It seems like we're a big stat program. I just go by the tape. And, for me, I love both head coaches. I like both offenses, and I like both defenses on film. So, yes, I do think this is the best matchup in the opening round of the playoffs. I really do. In this super wild card weekend, you will see a fantastic game against two damn good football teams when you watch the Green Bay Packers play at the Philadelphia Eagles. I think it's going to be a very tight game. I really do. I think it all depends on the quarterback play, like Colt said. And, yeah, it's definitely the best matchup for sure.
Jay, there's one guy you wanted to highlight, Zack Baun. He's having an all-pro season. He comes to that Vic Fangio scheme that you love so much. Tell me about Zack and how he was able to shine this year.
It's really an incredible find for Howie Roseman and this Eagle football team. He was like an edge guy, not sure where to play him. Big guy from Wisconsin. And they moved him to an off-the-ball linebacker, and he plays sideline to sideline. He's making tackles, getting in the passing game, getting interceptions. He can rush the passer, obviously, from anywhere on the field. So he's a very versatile defensive player, can play off the ball, can rush the passer, gets in passing lanes. He's had an unbelievable year, and he's actually up for Defensive Player of the Year with his production and his stats. And he just goes along with Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Cooper DeJean. Big play Slay, C.J. Gardner-Johnson. They have players all over the place. And I picked the Packers just out of an upset special type of guy. But this Philadelphia defense is number one for a reason, and Zack Baun is a key reason why.
In football, every game means more during the playoffs, and you can start your own personal playoffs on Underdog, where you could cash in on touchdowns, interceptions, yards, or more. All you have to do is pick higher or lower, and you could take home up to 1,000 times your money if you get your picks right. It's that simple. Millions of fans have already won billions of dollars making picks. Sign up for Underdog today using promo code POCKET, capital POCKET, and you'll get a free pick as a part of your first cash entry plus up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you deposit. Again, that's promo code POCKET.
All right, well, the Eagles are a Super Bowl pick that many people are making aside from the Chiefs. Colt, what makes the Eagles such a powerhouse, and why are they the favorites in many people's eyes to knock off the Chiefs?
Yeah, listen, I think I'll start with Kellen Moore. What he's done with this offense, utilizing his weapons and understanding that the strength of this football team is the offensive line. Right, you got A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Goddard, Saquon Barkley, and an offensive line that moves that line of scrimmage every single down. And so for me, he's capitalized on that. I think that it all comes down to how good Jalen Hurts plays. Right, if he comes back from his concussion and missing a few games and picks up right where he left off and distributes the football and moves the chains with his feet every now and then and gets Saquon the ball as many times as he can, I just think on offense they can score points. And that's why I think they're the Super Bowl favorites from the NFC. But at the same time, a team like the Packers can come in, and if they fart around and don't do anything the first half of the game and are sluggish, anybody can beat them. But I think on offense, they are most talented team up front in the NFC from an offensive line standpoint. And they got the best running back in the game, Saquon Barkley. You can't bet against that.
All right, well then, who's your pick?
Yeah, I'm taking the Eagles in this game. I think they figure it out. They're playing at home. They got the crowd behind them. Their defense is playing good football, and I think they figure it out and beat the Packers in round one.
Jay, I know you want to have. I know you have a
play for God's sakes. God. Anyway,
he's out for the season. You had a Kellen Moore comment you wanted to make as well.
Just 4 weeks ago, they asked A.J. Brown what their problem was. He said passing. So, yeah, I don't think Kellen Moore has really done an over-exceptional job with this Philadelphia offense, who's got one of the best offensive lines, 2 excellent receivers, a good quarterback, and one of the best backs in football, and a hell of a tight end. I think they have absolutely underachieved on offense, 100%. I think Vic Fangio on defense has done an unbelievable job with that defense. They're number one, and they're playing good. However, I'm taking the Green Bay Packers. I think they're going to keep it close and frustrate this Eagle team. And then the Eagles will start pointing fingers. Fans will start booing. Boo, you stink. There'll be a panic. 4th and 8, go for it by Sirianni. And the Packers will somehow get the victory. 27-17.
AQ?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't think it's going to be that big of a spread, but I am also going with the Packers. I think the Packers are a damn good football team. I think they have everything you need. I know they lost their big receiver. I get that, but they got plenty of talent behind him. They really do. And I think Jordan Love proved that he can win playoff games. He played his ass off in round 1 last year and played his ass off in round 2. They lost. But listen, I think this Packers team's got a damn good defense. They got a damn good offense. I think their coach is a damn good creative play caller and game planner. And so for that reason, I think Green Bay goes in. And also, my concern earlier was Jalen Hurts coming back off being rusty as hell, off not playing for damn near a month and coming out of concussion protocol. I think the Packers win.
Yeah, the Packers looked good last week for sure.
There we go, Colt.
Let's go.
All right,
Colt.
so
let's go.
The Bears? Come on, man.
All right, so you guys have been talking about
the Bears beat them in Lambeau. I mean,
Jordan Love hurt his finger. Relax.
They hadn't beat the Packers since like 2018.
I mean, didn't they pull Jordan Love after like a series? Like, let's relax over there. All right.
He did hurt his finger. He did have a little owie on his pinky.
We'll see, boys.
I'm gonna say this. You guys are saying who has the better quarterback? We think Jordan Love is the more talented quarterback, correct? Like you guys saying that matters.
I wouldn't
in the playoffs.
say he's better than Hurts. I think they're both very good. I think Jordan Love's a better passer probably than Jalen.
That's kind of what I was getting to there.
Yeah, but
there's a little less drama and
little quarterback position. I think they're both pretty damn good.
You go to the running back, Saquon Barkley, I think becomes a difference maker. But if this game comes down to a field goal, Jake Elliott, the Eagles field goal kicker, has been awful this year. He's been a great player for them in the past, but he is missing a lot of kicks. The home field fans, when I was there a couple Thursdays ago, were booing Jake Elliott. To your point, Jay, I think this game could come down to a field goal. And if it does, it favors the Packers. But I picked the Eagles to win the Super Bowl. So I'm rolling with the Philadelphia Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly. They're going to get the win. I'm rolling with you, Colt. I'm surprised Colt won Eagles, though. He's not the biggest Jalen Hurts fan.
He ripped Hurts all year long. Now he's calling him the greatest player ever, and the greatest play caller is Kellen Moore. What a flip-flopper.
Hey, the Philly fans will boo anybody. They've booed me all year long. I'm just trying to show them a little bit of love here.